I'm Mina. This is my brand, the Kismet Reserve. I sell vintage watches, vintage pre-owned items, and now I'm getting into manufacturing my own clothing. My, I guess, initial jump into the creative space, I started social media when I was like 17. I was one of those like TikTokers that blew up in the pandemic. I made like content about being brown and complaining about being brown. I garnered a good audience from it. People related to it. I've been able to scale and turn it into like a kind of cult following for my business. I like to put in like little like nods of appreciation to my background, which is me being Pakistani. So for example, like Kismet, Kismet, same word, just two different languages. They both mean fate. If you look at the backgrounds of my videos, you'll see like little nods to Pakistani things, like vintage Pakistani newspaper ads. So I just like to give a good nod artistically to that. There needs to be more of us in the creative space in order for more people to break in and appreciate each other. That's why I threw this event, like hosting it with some of my favorite Pakistani-owned brands, Seht, and my friend Mahum. So yeah, so we can all uplift and support each other. When it comes to hosting these pop-ups, I really try to make them more of like a community event. It's never about the sales, it's never about the profits. It's more just bringing people together in like a non-competitive, non-formal like networking setting. My brand, alongside the brands that I have here today, bring a very similar group of like-minded individuals within like the South Asian Muslim community. So yeah.
My name is Kulsoom Haq and I created Seht. Seht is a slow fashion brand. We make every single thing in New York City. I am a fashion designer. I've worked in the industry for about 9 years. I bring a lot of experience and expertise and skill into this craft. And Seht was basically kind of created out of a thing of modest fashion has started to become kind of cookie cutter, kind of the same. There's not a lot of innovation, and using good materials, using kind of ethical, sustainable labor is kind of something we try to do in Seht. So it's kind of pushing back against the culture of fast fashion. I love to bring little touches. So this is like we have the silk scarf dress, which alhamdulillah did really well for us. And it has what we call a Scandinavian scarf. The beautiful dupatta that we have in our culture, but it's like, I think it's so chic, it's so timeless, but it's also like, it's so modest. Like you can control your level of modesty and style it in different ways. So it's just like adding little subtle things like that into the brand.
Hi, I'm Mahum. I'm a creative technologist that works in the fashion tech space as well as the cultural space, and I create like fun, immersive experiences. So I do a lot of like fun tinkers in my free time. So on the left, we have Gupshup. Gupshup's a 3D recreation of a Kashmiri dye room that I spent like 4 to 5 months making. And it started off as a VR experience, turned it into a website, and eventually transitioned into a magazine. So that way people can have a little bit of Gupshup while they're having their chai time. And then on the right, we have Number 13. Number 13 is a recreation of Alexander McQueen's 1999 Spring Summer Runway finale. Basically, you can just go ahead, use your mouse and spray paint her in real time. And it's like a re-edition of what actually happened in the finale here. I think the creative space is already just so gatekeepy. It is important for brown creatives to really take up space because you have very strong stories, important stories to tell and share with people. We don't come from an individualistic culture, we come from a collectivist culture. So therefore, when you are building artwork, yada yada, you're also fostering community, you're inspiring others, you're creating a third space for other artists to thrive. So I think that's why it's really important.
You can completely be a one-woman team, build everything off yourself. You don't need help from others. You don't need to follow a traditional career path. You can do the unconventional things and you can be successful at them.
You need to just do something in order to learn how to do it better. With Seht, I have been sitting on this idea for years and years and years. I was like, no, I need to make the perfect product. I need to take time to like make the best thing in the whole world. And it's like, I'm not gonna be able to do that until I make something, put it out and see what people want and don't want, you know, because I think we live inside our head, but I think so much of it shifts with the community around us and the way people respond to our work, which I think is as important as like whatever we want to create and like working in tandem.
I'd say tinker. You know, like a lot of people say I can't do something, but I think it's really important to just tinker, try it, fail, and learn again. And so you have to be okay with throwing things away and starting again and like learning. And I think in the beginning you have a much harder learning curve. and your stories won't be as good. It'll be crafty, it'll be like scrappy. But I think as you keep iterating and you stay motivated, like you'll create like beautiful work.
Be as headstrong as possible. Like that's my biggest thing. Like you have to be delusional. You have to be as headstrong and you have to be consistent with everything you do.
So I think it's like literally just do it, put it out there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but once it's out there, you will just get better and better. Like that's just gonna happen. So
you have to think about the long term, not the short term. You won't always see short term returns so quickly, but in the long run, when you stay consistent, your hard work will pay off. And you don't always have to compete with each other. There's space for everyone in this field, and I just host these events to appreciate that.